is this? Has hell frozen over? Are pigs flying outside right now? Cause if my eyes aren't deceiving me, this is a Winged Cloud visual novel that is not a fucking Sakura game, okay? Holy crap. Winged Cloud is obviously known for Sakura, right? Sakura. It all started with Sakura Spirits, Sakura Angels, and that which pretty much kicked off the entire Sakura franchise, I guess it's safe to call it that. And Winged Cloud has every single one of their visual novels that they've made, excluding one which was very early on. I think it was called Pyrite Heart. But excluding that one, they have only made Sakura visual novels. I've played almost every single one of them. I think I played like one or two of the free ones I didn't play. The rest I have all played, and I'm pretty sure it's like in the 20s or something right now, the amount of Sakura visual novels that they have released. But this is one that is not a Sakura title and is actually not going to include any fan service. Now I know already like hundreds of people are like, they already clicked the video away, which is kind of sad, but I like the fact that they're actually trying, because one of the things about Sakura visual novels, right, and I've sort of criticized at least the later ones for it occasionally, that the first couple of Sakura visual novels were very good, and then after a while you sort of felt this decline, like especially story. The stories were always kind of lackluster in my opinion, and it went more extreme with the fan service, right? Which wasn't necessarily a bad thing, because at least nowadays, with like the last year or so with all of their Sakura releases, you didn't really play or read or watch a Sakura visual novel for the story. Nobody ever did. If you try and convince me of that, I won't fucking believe you no matter what. Nobody watched or played that shit for the story. It was all for the fan service. But with this new visual novel of theirs, Legends of Talia, Arcadia, it's actually, I think it was sort of a psychological, I'm not certain if it's a horror, but it's a darker story at least. And they are putting more emphasis, more focus on the story. So I'm actually very curious how that's going to play out, because obviously the strength of Winged Cloud / the Sakura series was always the fan service part, and not so much the story. So I'm actually curious as to what they're capable of writing and creating if they only focus on the story and not so much on the fan service part. So yeah, we have a creation here called Legends of Talia, Arcadia. It was actually free for like the first 12 hours. Now that will probably be already over by the time I've uploaded this video, because it's like 6 AM right now as I'm recording it. So I retweeted it though, so I guess for some of you lucky guys that saw me retweet it or just followed Winged Cloud on Twitter in general, might have been able to get this game for free. But it's released on Steam like a couple hours as well, like 14 hours from now or something, as of right now as I'm recording, so you'll be able to get it there as well. But yeah, I'm actually fairly curious what this is going to be about, and the story is pretty intriguing to me. I like to see them take on a new challenge, and let's start a journey, shall we? Let's start this shit. Sometimes, when I'm trying to get to sleep at night, I can still hear the screams. They're impossible to forget. If you'd been in the village of Freycross that night, you wouldn't be able to forget them either. Then again, most of the people who were in Freycross that night died. I was one of the few lucky ones. Ooh. I wasn't supposed to be in Freycross in the first place. I wasn't born there. I didn't live there. I was just passing by. I've been wandering through the high roads, as you do, and I needed a place to stay for the night. The good people at Freycross were more than happy to accommodate me. They practically showered me with invitations to stay in their homes, eat their food, and sleep in their beds, and sleep with their wives as well. They were that, they were that considerate of newcomers or just people passing by. It was almost like my presence was some kind of great blessing. And then a horned dragon attacked, like one with a horn, or he was horny. And what am I thinking? This is not a Sakura visual novel, dude. Luda, come on, get your shit together. Get your mind out of the gutter, or just in the default place, I guess. And the whole village was burned to the ground. Alright, I gotta take this seriously. It's a shame, really. Freycross wasn't an important place by any means. Most people in Talia probably haven't heard of it. I hadn't. But the people at Freycross were good, kind people. And when I say that, I mean it. I don't joke about that. Truly. They spent their lives growing crops, rearing sheep, and fattening pigs up for the winter. Oh yeah, getting that sweet, delicious bacon. They had to be self-sufficient because there were no nearby villages or towns to trade with. They looked after each other. Most of them were illiterate, apart from the village chief. It didn't matter. Being located in an out-of-the-way corner of the world, on the edge of an ill-traveled high road filled with monsters, they had learned to be strong and bold and self-sufficient. But they all fell over themselves when word spread that the great hero Arcadia of Littlehaven had arrived at the gates of their village. Ooh, a hero. "Oh please, Lady Warrior," said the head of the village. "Make yourself at home. We are your humble servants. Yeah, do you want us to lick your toes? We'll do that." They were so excited by my unexpected arrival that they threw a banquet in my honor. Wait, we are? We are the Lady Warrior? They roasted a whole pig on a spit. And that wasn't all. There were meat pies, boiled potatoes, wow, potatoes, and handmade soups. Oh my god. The food must have taken a long time to prepare. And I was grateful, but a simple meal of bread and cheese would have done just as well. There was music and laughter, and several of the smallest children at Freycross asked, very shyly, for my autograph. Not that they'd be able to read it, of course. They'd just be like, what the fuck are these scribbles, those lines? They don't understand that. They just wanted something to remember me by. I'm not sure why people make such a fuss about me. I never wanted to be a hero. Unfortunately, my legend has traveled across every single corner of Talia. Everyone at Freycross that night knew me. Everybody loved me. They adored me. Was it because I fought in a lot of battles? Was it because of Kadath? I hope not. War is pointless, and so is fighting. Those who glorified, who venerated, and raised mere warriors like myself to the status of saints turn my stomach. Not that I think much about Talia saints. It was hard to focus on my food at night, though the people at Freycross were being so very kind, sharing what I knew were limited resources. They welcomed me with open arms, like I was their close friend. They thought if I was there, nothing would be able to harm them. Haha, boy were they wrong. They were wrong, very, very wrong. The dragon killed almost everybody that night. Is this going to be like a revenge story? We're gonna get revenge on that dragon? It ravaged the whole village. It burned the fields to the ground, cooked the fat right off the pigs. After all the time they spent fattening up those pigs, he just cooked it right off with his flame breath. Jeez. And engulfed all the houses in warm, red flames. The houses in Freycross were made of wood. Oh god, yeah, that does not go well with fire. Most people were asleep when the attack happened. They died in their beds. They died instantly. Well, I guess on the upside, they didn't feel any pain. At least, I hope they did. A horned dragon's fire is strong enough to melt the flesh off of a person's bones and turn the bones themselves to soot. Soot, right? Soot. If I myself had been lying in bed at the village chief's home, sleeping, perhaps I would have been burned to a cinder too. Hero or not, I'm made of flesh and blood like any other mortal, and if exposed to a horned dragon's fire, I'd almost definitely die. Almost definitely. That seems counterintuitive. The small alterations the church did to my body, back when I was a priest, warrior priest, wow, we're a warrior priest, who lived in Spinal, would have been for naught. Though I can self-regenerate to a certain degree, there are limits. A horned dragon would definitely push my limits to the breaking point. If I'd been caught up in its fire, I would have perished. But I didn't. That's because I wasn't anywhere near the fire when a dragon attacked. I wasn't even in Freycross. I'd left the village behind me. Did we flee? Did we run away? I was trying to escape. They're like, oh, I'm out of here. Peace out. We heard like boom, boom, you know, and we're a light sleeper. Everybody else in Freycross are heavy sleepers. So we heard like the boom, like the tables were like shaking because of the footsteps, the heavy footsteps of the dragon. I don't know why it comes walking, considering it could probably fly over here, but whatever. We heard it. We saw it coming in the distance, and we just pieced out of there. While it, you know, just roasted the entire Freycross, and not in a good way. Now, you might be wondering why I was trying to flee in the night, like a fugitive, from these good people who had offered me so very much, and asked for nothing in return. Nothing other than arm wrestling competitions and my autograph. So many of them wanted autographs, though I don't know why. I'm not a skilled calligrapher. I spend most of my days gripping my sword. Still, it made them happy, and it was so skin off my nose, so I did it all the same. But here's the thing, being revered as a hero for more than a decade can be rather draining, especially when you're not a hero. Uh-oh, are we like a fraud? I don't think I am. I might be the great warrior Arcadia, scourge of the battlefield, champion of Kadath, the protector of the Amaranth Village. But at the end of the day, I'm just a human. That's a lot of titles to hold. The great warrior, scourge of the battlefield, champion of Kadath, the protector of Amaranth Village. Like, damn, you know, that's a mouthful. That's 2 mouthfuls. The church meddled with my body during my stint as a warrior priest, back when I believed that the church was good and right and just. But I still bleed when you cut me. Honest to goodness, I do. Though the wounds will all close up unusually fast. I don't like being adored and revered and venerated. I don't deserve it. Not when my only real talent is killing. Sometimes I worry my legends will eclipse who I really am. In fact, I think this already happened. There are so many stories about me, some of them true and most of them not, that I can no longer disentangle fact from fiction. I'm not allowed to be a normal person anymore. I've done too many great works in my short life. This sounds like something that like some actual celebrities probably struggle with. So I left. Maybe you could say I ran. The people of Freycross loved me. They believed in me, and I let them down. Maybe if I hadn't left that night, I could have done something. Slain the dragon, perhaps? I don't know. I've never done it before. If we had slain the dragon, I'm pretty sure we would have added another title, right? Like Dragon Slayer or something. If I hadn't run away, then maybe... But it's useless thinking about what ifs now. What's done is done. Yep, we're a coward. By the time I saw the dragon, its scaly body embossed against the round, full moon, it was much too late. I turned back, ran to Freycross Village, drew my sword. It didn't make any difference. Everything was on fire. Everything was ruins. Almost everybody was dead. The dragon was long gone, of course. It just happened to be passing. Really? It was just a fucking drive-by? Just like, yeah, I'm just like, oh, look at this tiny village. And then he just breathes out. There's like, 2 small fire breaths, burns down the entire village, and like, alright, on to the next stop. Just a fucking flame-throwing drive-by. Holy shit. Maybe it hadn't even meant to target the village of Freycross. It just reached out of instinct or reacted. Dragons aren't as smart as people think. I never thought dragons were smart. The people at Freycross didn't need a warrior. Not even a great warrior Arcadia, with all her accomplishments and accolades. They needed white mages, herbalists, and healers. Fortunately, I've never been very good with magic. The sword's just compensation, really, for our tiny... Okay, we're not a guy, never mind. I walked through the burning village. The ruined buildings were depressing. The stench of burning flesh was even more so. It felt like I was standing in the middle of a war, like I was back in Kadath. I stood there, surrounded by licking flames and black soot. The smell of death invaded my nostrils, I suppressed the urge to choke. Oh gosh. Damn. Yeah, I imagine that I would probably be looking very similar if I witnessed that happening. There, lying on the ground before me, was a girl. One of the girls who had asked so eagerly for my autograph. She was still young, only 11 or 12, maybe 13 at a push. She was alive, but barely. She had breathed in a lot of smoke, and she was coughing, choking. She probably wouldn't last the night. The fabric of her tights had torn away in places. Yeah, we can see that. Her legs were blackened and signed. The exposed fat was bubbling like a cauldron. Ew! Like actually on her, like the fat on her body was just like bubbling up. Blah, 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 blah. Ew! Damn, that's graphic. She looked up at me. I looked down at her. The cool wind caught in my hair. The smell of dead bodies grew stronger and stronger. The girl opened her mouth and then said in a low, pained voice, "Why?" I didn't know what to say. I didn't have any answer to give. I could have said sorry, but what use would that have done? So I didn't apologize. I mean, we're not really to blame for the dragon attacking. Instead, I looked down at the girl with her burned legs and her tear-filled eyes, and I simply said, "That's how life is." Wow, wow. He was like, yeah, yep, well, your life sucks. Well, that's just how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you just get burned to a crisp by a fucking dragon in the middle of the night and you didn't even see it coming. That's just how life is. Tough shit, girl. And then I walked away. Wow. There was nothing I could have done. Like, it's true. I mean, she's just very blunt about it, right? Most people, even though deep down inside they know, like, this is not my fault, there's nothing I can do to prevent this from happening, there's no way I can even help this person right now, but you don't say, "Oh well, that's just how life is, bye." That's an important part of being a warrior. You have to know when to cut your losses. You have to know when to move on, I guess. I mean, I'm not a fucking warrior, so I don't know. Maybe after like so many battles and whatnot, having seen so many of your probably friends and allies die in battle, you just kind of become immune to it, or just like, you know, it doesn't bother you anymore. You become desensitized. Oh man. So I did. I left Freycross Village that night, and I never looked back. I stopped a medic on the road and told them about Freycross Village. I asked them to help. Maybe they went back. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. I like to think I did all I could, but sometimes when I'm feeling sentimental, I do wonder. Maybe I could have said something a bit nicer to that girl. Yeah, that might have, you know. I mean, sure, she may have had like only 5 minutes left to live before she was like properly cooked. And the last words that she will ever have heard from a human is just like, yeah, that's just how life is, you know? You could have given at least sort of, not necessarily encouraging words, but just anything to sort of ease her pain at the moment. Not that words would help, but still. Something more comforting. She was only a child, really. Or maybe, you know, give her like another autograph, maybe. At least that would have been better than saying, that's just life. But the world isn't a very nice place. Yeah, but you don't gotta tell kids that. Although, I probably would tell my kid that, you know, the earlier it knows that the world sucks, the better. It's midday, and the sun is high in the sky. I walk, my head bent, trying to keep beneath the cover of the trees. Fortunately, in the vast and sprawling Little Oak forest, there are plenty of those. They're not all oak trees either. I'm no expert on the various flora and fauna in Talia, but I lived in the countryside as a child, near Little Oak, as a matter of fact. My parents used to point out various trees to me when we went for walks. Sycamore, birch, ash, rosewood. They're all staples of my youth. I like, for some reason when they said like Little Oak, it sounded like, I get like Pokemon vibes, and then they said birch, ash, you know, those It seemed like, you know, that those words alone, like, sure, they're trees and whatnot, but, like, they remind me of Pokemon, too. They're all staples of my youth. I paused beneath a tree with a sturdy trunk and numerous dark green leaves. An ash tree, I think, and quite an old one, judging by the thickness of its boughs. I need to take a break. I wipe the sweat from my brow. It's a horrible warm day. Muggy, I think you'd call it. Nobody calls it that. Has anybody ever said, "Ah, it's a fucking muggy day today"? It doesn't help that there are bugs everywhere. They're horrible, buzzing things. Mosquitoes, yeah, I fucking hate them. I can't stand them. Unfortunately, they seem to be rather attracted to me, just like everything else in Talia. So that's us. We are her, Arcadia, the legendary warrior. I need to reassess. Where exactly am I going? Back to my home village of Little Haven, or what remains of it. I suppose I felt nostalgic. After years of wandering Talia, slaying monsters and saving civilians, I think I deserve a break. Thank God it wasn't the other way around, saving monsters and slaying civilians. Even heroes get homesick sometimes. I lean against the bark of the tree. It's cool beneath my skin and offers a fair amount of shade. I uncork the flask at my hip and bring it to my lips. It's warm. I wince, but drink all the same. While I drink, I examine my surroundings. Is there liquor in there? And wave away a few more stray mosquitoes. Horrible things. Little Oak Forest really is expansive. It would be easy to get lost here. Thinking about it, its name is a little misleading. Maybe you could call it ironic. I've heard of more than a few travelers who blundered in here, sincerely believing in Little Oak's name, who got lost and eaten by monsters. Little Oak is filled with monsters. Fortunately, most of them only come out at night. Little Oak's highly ill-fitting name is a holdover from the good old days. The good old days? As legend goes, this place used to be a large expanse of lush green fields. Flat fields filled with wildflowers, and nothing else to see for miles upon miles. Then, one of Talia's old queens of yore? Queen Leontine, her name was, but she was a princess back then, came here and planted a single acorn in the ground. The acorn grew and dropped more acorns, and Little Oak became the incredible tangle of trees they see before you. Does it really work like that? Like, in theory, it's kind of supposed to work like that, but has it ever happened where you just plant one tree and just like sort of, I guess, the quote-unquote offspring of that tree causes more trees to appear, blah blah blah, like that, right? Like you plant a single acorn, that turns into a tree, and the acorns that grew on that single tree fall down, and because of that, more trees grow, and before you fucking know it, it's a whole fucking forest. But like, doesn't that then become like an endless problem, right? Like, because it just keeps increasing, right? If the amount of trees increase, then the amount of acorns will increase as well, and those acorns keep falling and spawning new trees, blah blah blah. I say spawning like it's a fucking game, but you know what I mean. There have been numerous petitions to change the name of this place. It's quite outdated now, by a good 600 years. I mean, yeah, I guess it cost a lot of fucking time for a tree to like fully mature, right? Nobody listens. People in Talia like tradition, even if said tradition results in the untimely deaths of around 8 people per year. Ah, it's only 8, not that bad. Well, that's just how life is. Is that really how we're just gonna brush off everything? Oh, 10 people, ah, that's just how life is. You broke your leg, ah, that's just how life is. I got, somebody stole my life supplies, my water right now. Ah, that's just how life is. I'll find some new ones, it's okay. I cork my jug of water and attach to my hip once more. My old village shouldn't be too far away now. Just past this crossroads. If I take the fork on the left, I can make it before sundown. I start walking, scrunching old, dead leaves and small, hard acorns beneath my sturdy wolf hides boots, when... Help me! Oh, somebody! Please, help me! How? I wonder who that can be. Maybe there's been a monster attack. Most monsters only come out at night, but there are always exceptions to the rule. Please! Somebody! Anybody! I wonder if I should help this woman. Oh, it's a woman too? I have no real obligation to do so. I don't know who she is. I don't even know what she looks like. Yeah, we don't know if she's ugly or hot. Like, if we knew that, then the decision would be easy. But, well, I am a warrior. Old habits die hard. Alright, hold your horses. I'm coming. I turn, retrace my steps. I take the right fork, as opposed to the left one, and start walking, searching. It doesn't take me all that long to find the source of the commotion. Ooh, what's going on over here? It's a mandragora, a large, plant-like monster with a flower for a head, and a lot of thick, ropey vines. I thought there wasn't going to be that much fan service. The vines of the mandragora hold a young woman aloft in the air. The vines are wrapped around her legs, her waist, and her arms. Her hair is short and soft pink, like primroses. Pretty. She's like fighting for her life. She's like about to get killed by this mandragora, and we're like, oh, she looks pretty hot. She's pretty cute. She won't be pretty for much longer if the mandragora succeeds in crushing her to death. I mean, I've seen enough fucking Sakura visual novels to know where this is headed, right? But this is not a Sakura visual novel, so I'm guessing what I normally would expect to happen is not gonna happen. Right? I think so. Are you here to help me? The woman looks at me. Her eyes are large, hopeful. Well, what can I do? I can't turn around and walk away. Nope, sorry, I'm off duty. Yep, I just got off duty like an hour ago. If only you got captured by this monster 2 hours ago, I would have been able to save you. I don't think that would cut it. If I don't step in, she'll die. Don't worry, I'll help you. I unsheath my sword. Oh, thank you so much. You can thank me when I've defeated that monster. Now, put that woman down or you won't live very long to regret it. Can I actually hear you? I don't know why I say that. It's not like the mandragora can understand common Talian, or any kind of language for that matter. I don't know, maybe plants have their own plant language. All this monster can do is shake its vines and spew pollen. Oh well, I can at least say I tried to settle this diplomatically. Oh, the mandragora snakes its long, thick vines out towards me. It tries to grab hold of my ankles. Too slow. I jump back, avoiding them, and slice the vines in two with the blade of my sword. Easy peasy, baby. The severed vines begin to leak sticky sap. Enraged, perhaps in pain, the mandragora starts shifting, swaying. It sends more vines after me, and I dodge them all. I dispose of them with the slightest flick of my wrist. Slice, slice, slice. The mandragora can't move very far. It's rooted to the ground. Though its vines are long, it has a limited range. And how the fuck did this girl get caught by it? If it's just static on the ground, it's rooted in place. I dance about the monster, my impractically hair streaming behind me. I should really get it cut and sever each and every vine. Wow, you're so amazing, Lady Knight. Be quiet, you're distracting me. Oh, sorry. I guess I'll cheer you on quietly from inside my heart. Now thoroughly crazed, half mad with pain, the giant flower monster spurts out pollen, thick waves of the stuff, bright yellow. I don't know what the pollen does. I don't want to sacrifice my body to find out. Maybe it's like poisonous, right? I jump back, and I'm out of the pollen's range. At least, the worst of it. Now, how do I approach this monster? This would be easier if I was a mage. My mother always wanted me to study magic. She was a mage herself, a white mage who worked for the Central Spinal Church. That's the largest church in Talia. Unfortunately, I have no magical powers. I can't even shoot sparks from my fingertips. Yep, and even fucking babies that get born, they're like minutes old, they can shoot sparks from their fucking fingertips. We're just talentless. Being unable to conjure fire from thin air would be a useful ability right now. Mandragoras, being plants, are highly susceptible to fire. They burn very easily. Yep, that's something that Pokemon's taught me, alright. Just like the village of Freycross. No, stop it. I'm not going to think about that. It was almost 8 years ago. Holy crap, that long? And we still think about it to this day? It's irrelevant. I narrow my eyes, assess the situation. The Mandragora is still covered in a veil of yellow pollen, preventing me from getting too close. I can tell in its leafy, vegetative mind, if indeed it has a mind, that it thinks it's outsmarted me. with the fucking leafy, that's not gonna happen. That he never does that. The monster's vines dig even tighter into the captive woman. It's trying to squeeze her to death. Ah! I thought we freed her. The girl gasps. It sounds like she's suffering. Don't worry, we're saving you. I can't allow that. I won't allow that. Maybe this'll work. I thought she was grunting to hit it, but she was just thinking. That's why I did but it was actually just like a I swing my sword hard. It displaces the air, clearing out a thin path in the pollen between me and the Mandragora. The Mandragora shifts, its large flowery head turning in my direction, but it's already too late. Hiya! I rush forwards, dashing through the slim opening my strike afforded, then jump, the Mandragora panicking, sends a bevy of vines after me. How many vines does this frickin' thing have? But I ignore them, focus on the flower. I bring the sword down, chuck, 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 chuck. My blade splits right through the large, open flower in the center of the Mandragora. The Mandragora thrashes in pain. Its vines crumple in on themselves. The young woman is released. She falls through the air, and I dash forwards to catch her in my arms. Don't worry, girl, I gotcha. I hold her against my chest and carry her away, while the Mandragora dances itself to the death. It's actually dancing, lumma lumma la. The woman's unconscious. The plant must have squeezed the air out of her. Fortunately, she's still breathing. I mean, we can always put some extra air in her. When I'm a good 5 feet away from the crumpled plant, I lay the woman on the ground. I sit her beneath the shade of an oak tree. The ground is covered in fallen acorns. Upon closer inspection, I realize my hasty first impressions were indeed correct. The woman is very pretty. That's the thing that we're thinking about. We just saved her from death and we're like, oh, she is good looking. And hey, she's unconscious right now. She's young, maybe 19, 20, and has smooth skin and peach-colored hair. I examine her wrists, her ankles. There are red welts crisscrossing her skin. No doubt from the Mandragora's vines. Damn, it must have had a tight grip on her. Well, they'll heal soon enough. Yeah, I mean, people could easily mistake that she had a kinky bondage night or something, right? I sheath my sword and turn. I'm ready to walk away, when... Oh, Lady Knight! Damn, she wasn't unconscious for long, was she? She's awake. Damn it. She's sturdier than she looks. Are you just going to leave like that? That was the general idea, yeah. But I haven't even had a chance to apologize. For what? For getting attacked by that plant. It was my fault, really. I'm usually so careful. You don't look like a girl that's careful. I know this forest like the back of my hand, and I've never been caught by a Mandragora before. Well, there's a first time for everything. I suppose, but... Oh, this really is embarrassing. Then I should have just let you die? What? No, of course not. I was really happy when you came to save me. It was like something from a fairy story. A fairy tale? I simply did what any concerned onlooker would do. We both know that's not true. No. If I walked upon that scene happening, I would probably try and do something, but I couldn't. I definitely couldn't have saved her. Not many people would have the guts to face down a monster like that. People can surprise you. You certainly surprised me. Oh, I'm so happy. I want to repay you somehow. I The woman gets to her feet, but her ankles are weak, and she stumbles. It's a good thing I'm there to catch her, or she'd been making a sudden appointment with the ground right now.
It seems you saved me yet again.
You should be more careful. Yeah, I mean, for some reason, right? Maybe it's just bad of me, but like stereotypically, whenever we always see like pink-haired girls in visual novels, I always kind of think that they're like the very cutesy and also a little bit of a clumsy type, right? More so cutesy than clumsy, but I feel like some of them, if not most of them, are usually a little bit clumsy as well, or like ditzy, you know?
Yes, I will. I promise.
I have little faith in the promises of people from Talia. Well, if that's all, then I'll be on my way.
Oh, wait! Please wait!
Yes, what is it now?
You can't just walk away like that!
Watch me.
But you saved me! I need to thank you!
I don't need any thanks.
But you were so strong and brave, just like a real warrior. A real warrior, huh?
She pauses, and then... Oh my, you can tell from like my outfit or something? Is this the real warrior outfit? Oh no.
I know you. You're the lady warrior. Arcadia. Isn't that right?
Oh god, she knows me. I'm afraid you have the wrong person. Yeah, there's another girl running around here with blue hair that looks like a warrior and is really strong as well. That's called Arcadia, but it's definitely not me.
No, it really is you. I'd recognize you anywhere. My older sister is a big fan. She has a wooden carving of you she bought with 3 months worth of her pocket money from the traveling market of Melora.
Then she was ripped off. A likeness of my face is hardly worth that much money.
See? I knew it. You really are Arcadia.
Hey, that was a sneaky trick. Damn. I'm afraid I don't know what you're talking about, miss.
You don't need to call me miss. My name is Cecily.
Or Cecily, right? Cecily? Yeah, Cecily. Let's go with Cecily.
And I'm very glad that I've met you. Oh, great. Whoa.
Arcadia's fine.
Oh, but this is incredible.
She's so excited, she's practically jumping.
I simply have to go home and tell my sister. Celesta will be overjoyed.
Oh my god, are all like the siblings start with a C-E? Celine is the next one, and Celia, and then what's the other one? Is there another with C-E? Cumin, no, that's with the U. Fuck. Well, don't let me keep you.
What do you mean? You're coming too, of course.
Of course. She makes it sound like it's something ordained by the stars. Something that can be altered by any man. Not even the great Arcadia herself. Must I come with you?
You must. Everyone in my village would love to meet you.
I don't think it's a very good idea. Yeah, remember what happened 8 years ago, right? Maybe we'll have like a deja vu of that shit. Maybe we're just cursed. Whenever we meet like a village that knows me and like is really happy to see me, a dragon somewhere is just like, yeah, okay, people are way too happy over there. Let's burn that shit down. But Cecily isn't listening. I get the vague feeling listening isn't one of her strong suits.
You must meet my sister. Yes, and my mother, and my grandmother, and my whole fucking family. Why don't you meet all the dead family members too? We have all the tombstones in our backyard. The village chief will want to see you too. And all the young children. The men and women too. And my pet dog, pet snake. We've all heard of your legends. And we all want to see you in the flesh. It would be like a dream come true.
Well, some dreams are better left unrealized.
Nonsense. You know, it's been hard in my village lately. It hasn't rained nearly enough. It's been so hot and dry this summer.
Uh-oh. Are they like experiencing dry season? What's it called? There's a particular name for when like there's not a lot of water or it's not raining a lot, right? During summer.
There isn't enough water to go around. And we're starting to lose hope.
Uh-oh, there's a water shortage too, of course.
But if you were there, Arcadia, then I'm sure everybody would be happy. It'll prove that life can be good and great. And maybe even my sister will get better.
I don't know how like meeting a person, even if it's someone as cool, important, and whatever as we apparently are, right? It's not really gonna solve your issues about the lack of rain and water in your village. I'm sorry. It'll like cheer people up for like a day. They'll be like, oh yeah, Arcadia's here, yeah, awesome, cool to meet her. But they're like all slowly dying, and they just like, yeah, we got to meet a celebrity, yeah. She's sick?
Yes, she's been very sick for a very, very long time. The only thing that makes her happy is her woodcut of you.
Wow. Am I gonna do like a fucking, what's it called? Like what's the program called where you do like John Cena does that shit, right? Make-A-Wish Foundation like that, or like, you know, where you just meet like kids that are dying and they have like one last wish, and like, I want to meet Arcadia. I'm sorry to hear that. I turned to one side, suddenly awkward. You'd think I'd get used to being an idol after spending so much of my life in the spotlight, but apparently not. I just want a quiet life, really. Maybe with a cat or two. I'm getting too old for all this nonsense. Why am I letting this girl get to me anyway? Everyone in Talia has a sob story or two, but when I look into Cecily's eyes, I feel myself getting swayed regardless. What a pain, god damn it, why do you have such captivating eyes, huh?
I was out in the forest for Celesta. Actually, I was looking for some mugwort and lady purse to make a painkiller, you see. It's the only way she can get through each day now. But I was so worried, I must have forgotten myself. I walked right into it, Mandragora's den. If I died, I don't know what would have happened to Celia or Celesta. We have mother and grandmother, yes, but she needs me. She loves me. We're sisters.
Cecily takes hold of both of my hands and smiles.
You did a very great thing today, Arcadia. You didn't just save me. You saved my whole family.
Wait, how does it... I mean, I can understand that, like, your sister, we kind of indirectly maybe saved her. But how did we save, like, your mother and your grandmother?
I can't thank you properly, and I don't have anything to give you. But if we went back to Fairside, you would be compensated amply.
I don't do this to make money. But my voice lacks conviction. Okay, maybe a little bit for the money. Money, bitches, that's like the two motivations. There's no conviction left. Cecily has drained it all from me. She's a skinny woman, but her face is awfully determined. Her eyes are narrowed, her brow furrowed. She's earnest and means well, but she's also stubborn and self-assured, and absolutely will not take no for an answer. She's also rather attractive, which doesn't hurt, that's definitely a bonus, wink wink. Her fingers, laced with mine, are very soft and warm. Whoa, when did we start holding hands?
Please, Arcadia, please, for me?
I swallow. I want to turn my head, but I can't. She's exactly the kind of person I'm weak against. Forget mandragoras. It's girls like Cecily who'll be the end of me. Pink-haired girls, just my thing. The two of us walk through Little Oak Forest together. Leaves and twigs crunch beneath our feet. Light filters down through the leaves and the trees above, but most of Cecily's face is obscured in shadow. The forest is overgrown. The paths are ill-maintained. Perhaps they haven't been tended to in centuries. Not many people venture into the Little Oak Forest. Not if they know what's good for them. People never know what's good for them, though. I keep on my guard, turning my head this way and that. My fingers tremble. An alien, unfamiliar noise brings my hand against the hilt of my sword. But... oh... it's only a squirrel. Really, like an unfamiliar voice? What kind of sound does a squirrel make that makes you so scared that you try to grab your sword? If it's in the middle of the night and it's pitch black dark, then okay, I can understand being paranoid, right? I'm fucking terrified of the dark. I keep hearing noises in my house, despite nobody fucking else being here besides me. I have like a fucking stick near me, okay? So that when I hear like creaking noises, I'm like, oh shit, I know the burglar is here. So I can understand the paranoia, but during the day? Of a squirrel noise? That's even too pussy for me, okay?
What are you giggling about? I didn't realize great warriors like yourself were afraid of squirrels. I'm not afraid of squirrels. I'm afraid we might run into more monsters. You can never be too careful. But you're a warrior. I bet you'll be able to take care of anything with one slash of your sword. Bam!
Well, not dragons.
Cicely punches the air for a further demonstration. I roll my eyes. Swords don't go bam. Whoosh!
I suppose that's better, but that isn't a point. I'm not worried about myself. I'm worried about you.
What do you mean?
If you're with me, you're under my protection. I need to keep you safe. That's why I have to be careful.
Oh, don't worry, Arcadia. I live in these woods. I've been playing in here since I was a little girl. I can look after myself,
and yet you were caught by a mandragora, though. But you still got ensnared by that mandragora.
It was a one-off. I'll be more careful next time. I promise. Ah!
Cicely shrieks in alarm. She pitches forward. Don't tell me she got fucking caught again. Or did she fall into like a trap hole? Oh my god. I reach out, catching her before she falls most inelegantly to the forest floor. Yeah, definitely the clumsy, ditzy type. She giggles awkwardly.
I tripped over a tree root.
I could tell.
I guess it was a 2-off?
For today, right? Just for today? You really are clumsy. I can't take my eyes off you for a second.
I would have been fine without you. Really? It's not a big deal.
Then I won't catch you the next time you fall.
Boo.
Cicely puffs out her cheeks.
You're mean.
I know.
No, you're not supposed to agree with me.
But it's the truth. So, this village of yours...
Fairside.
Alright, Fairside. That's a nice, unassuming name for a village. How far away is it?
It's not that far. It's just down this path.
That's what you've been saying for like the last half hour.
Well, maybe it's just a little further than I said.
How much further exactly?
3 hours.
3 hours?
Give or take.
Why were you so far away from home to begin with?
Like I said, I was gathering ingredients for Celesta, Mugwort, and Lady's Purse.
Don't they have Mugwort and Lady's Purse a little closer to home?
They did, but there's the drought.
That's the word I was looking for, drought, right. Drought, which is kind of sort of the past tense of like dry. I don't fucking know. Drought, yeah, it happens in like fucking Sahara. I don't fucking know. It happens, okay? It's late. I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
Most of the plants are too withered to be of any use. I had to look a little deeper.
I had to suddenly change my voice mid-sentence. For the 3 hours.
Yep, I'm nothing if not tenacious.
You must love your sister a lot.
I don't love her. I adore her. Nobody else in my family can gather these herbs for Celesta. Mother needs to attend the family, and Grandma is way too old.
Yeah, I don't imagine Grandma walking for 3 hours to find some shit for Celesta, no matter how sick she is. Even Grandma's like, I'm too old for that shit. Even though it's an old grandpa voice.
I'm the only one who can help, and I'm doing all that I can. I have to.
You must have been walking for a very long time already. Don't your feet hurt?
A little, but it's no big deal. I can handle this much. I'd even walk 500, no, 1,000 miles for Celesta.
A pretty sentiment. But do you know how long that would actually take?
Nope, no clue. I've always been bad with mathematics.
Yeah. Somehow I'm not surprised by that. I figured.
Still, Celesta's been sick her whole life. She's probably suffering much more than I am. She can handle being in near constant pain for years and years. I should be able to handle a little bit of walking. It's only 3 hours.
6 if you count both ways.
Yeah, 6 hours. That's nothing. When you were still in the army, you must have marched much more than that every day, right?
I remember the long march to Kadath. It took almost a week to get there, and as soon as we arrived, we were thrown into battle. We didn't have the time to rest our weary legs. We were dying on our feet before we even arrived. Still, we somehow managed to win. People say our victory solely rests solely on my shoulders. The soldiers of Kadath, the few that survived, said I was like a force of nature, not a young girl at all. I must have cut down more than 100 enemy soldiers, all the while avoiding their blows and magical bullets. Wait, there's magic involved here? Oh shit. Eloise wasn't so lucky. No! I don't even know who Eloise is, but rest in peace. I shake my head. I've marched for that long. Yes, but it's different for you. Why? You're not a member of the army. You're not a soldier. You're just a random pleb girl.
Well, I might be just a girl, but I'm older than you were when you went to Kadath. It's a legend, you know, a famous story. Everybody says that you were only 10 years old.
Oh god, these things always get blown out of proportion. Do people really believe such nonsense? Not even Spinel would send a child into battlefield. That's preposterous.
Oh? And how old were you then?
14. Yeah, see? We weren't a child anymore then. We were like a teenager, starting to become a teenager. Prepubescent.
That isn't much better.
It's 4 years older.
So, if the battle at Kadath was 14 years ago...
Wait, we're 28? 17. Okay, we're 31. Holy shit. Has it really been that long? Damn, we're starting to enter MILF territory without actually being a mother, which then automatically disqualifies you of being a MILF, so why did I even say that?
Right, then you're 28.
31. Almost 32. Cicely wasn't kidding. She really is bad at mathematics. What do they teach children nowadays? I mean, she was kind of correct with the first assumption, if it was 14 plus 14.
You look pretty good for your age. You don't look that much older than me. You'd think a warrior would have a few more cuts and bruises on her.
I get that a lot, you know? It's because of our warrior priest skills. It's just another perk of being a warrior priest. They have technicians in Spinel who can do wonders with the human body. They only perform operations on those they deem to be the most worthy. I was selected as one of the lucky few. The magic imbued into my veins doesn't extend my lifespan. It simply keeps my body younger and stronger for longer, so it doesn't degrade. So I can fight more. So I can kill more. We're like sort of a created killing machine, right? My life expectancy is about the same as a normal human's. A lot of people in Spinel are shrewd businessmen. They like to wring every last bit of use they can out of their tools, like blood from a stone. That's what I am to them, or was before I quit. A tool. You don't need to worry about me, Cicely. I might be older than you, but I'm perfectly capable of looking after myself. You, on the other hand, could stand to be more careful.
Hey, I'll have you know, I'm super careful.
Something's gonna happen to her again in the next 5 minutes. I'll believe that when I see it.
You're so full of it. If I make a couple of teensy little mistakes,
one of which could have gotten you killed,
and then you start making fun of me. You're such a bully.
Hey, no bully.
You love teasing me so much. You're even smiling right now.
I blink. I press my fingertips against my lips. Oh, am I smiling? She's right. Cicely might be a loudmouth who nearly got herself eaten by a mandragora, but even she raises a few good points every now and then. I really am smiling. Ooh, what? I never smile. I'm like a hard ass, you know? How peculiar. Oh my god, what am I feeling? Is this happiness? Am I actually smiling? What the fuck? I don't smile very often. There's precious little in Talia to smile about. I wonder why I'm smiling now.